Have you ever wondered who else might have been part of the world's very first family? When we think of Adam and Eve's children, we usually think of Cain, Abel, and Seth. But did you know the Bible mentions other sons and daughters that we know almost nothing about? Who were they, and why aren't they talked about? In the annals of biblical history, one of the most intriguing questions arises from the story of Cain and Abel: how did Cain find a wife? This question lingers in the minds of many who read the early chapters of Genesis. According to the Bible, Adam and Eve were the first humans, the progenitors of all mankind. Yet, Cain's later life suggests a world far more populated than one might expect, leading us to ponder the presence of other people. The creation of Adam and Eve marks a pivotal moment in the biblical narrative, signifying not only the dawn of humanity but also the beginning of humanity's relationship with God. In the Garden of Eden, where they resided, Adam and Eve enjoyed a life of innocence and communion with the Creator. However, their journey would soon take a dramatic turn, introducing complex dynamics of sin and consequence. As Cain and Abel grew, they faced challenges that tested their character. Although they lived in the idyllic garden, the weight of temptation was ever present. Cain became a farmer, tending to the land, while Abel took on the role of a shepherd, caring for the flock. Both brothers brought offerings to God, Cain from his crops and Abel from his sheep. However, only Abel's sacrifice was accepted by the Lord, igniting a fire of jealousy in Cain's heart. This moment marked the beginning of a tragic descent into anger and resentment, emotions that would ultimately lead to an unimaginable act. The story takes a dark turn as Cain's jealousy consumes him, culminating in the first murder recorded in human history, the killing of his own brother Abel. This act of violence not only shattered the bond between siblings but also set the stage for God's response to Cain's heinous act. When God confronted Cain, instead of showing remorse, Cain attempted to deny his responsibility, revealing the depth of his moral failing. God's punishment for Cain was severe. He was cursed to become a wanderer, unable to cultivate the earth successfully. This punishment reflected the gravity of his actions, as well as the foundational principle that wrongdoing leads to consequence. As Cain grappled with his fate, he expressed fear of being killed by others, a chilling revelation that hinted at the existence of other people in the world beyond Adam, Eve, and Abel. This narrative compels us to explore the implications of Cain's fear. If there were indeed others who might threaten his life, then where did they come from? Some biblical scholars suggest that the rapid growth of the human population might point to additional humans created by God, separate from Adam and Eve. This interpretation opens up a range of possibilities regarding the early chapters of Genesis and the origins of humanity. Alternatively, there is the interpretation that Cain may have married a sister or close relative. The Bible does not specify the number of children Adam and Eve had, but it does indicate that Adam had other sons and daughters over time. This notion suggests a larger family unit and raises questions about the social norms of early human society, where marrying within the family was not only accepted but necessary for human propagation. In the ancient world, such unions between close relatives were common, especially in the context of a burgeoning population. Just as the descendants of Noah later intermarried, the early stories of humanity reflect a time when these relationships were vital for survival and growth. Furthermore, it's important to note that the laws against such marriages were established long after the times of Cain and Abel, indicating how societal norms evolve as cultures mature and complexities arise. This exploration of Cain's wife not only highlights the often overlooked aspects of biblical narratives but also encourages us to consider the broader implications of family dynamics in the early human story. As we delve deeper into the lives of these biblical figures, we uncover a tapestry of relationships and events that shaped the course of human history. The story of Adam and Eve stands at the very beginning of the biblical narrative, laying the foundation for understanding humanity's relationship with God. Their creation is not merely an introduction to the human race, it is a profound statement about the divine intention behind human life. According to the book of Genesis, God formed Adam from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, making him a living being. This act highlights the intimate connection between God and humanity, as Adam was created in God's image, setting a precedent for the value and dignity of human life. Once Adam was created, God recognized that he should not be alone. The scripture says, "It is not good that the man should be alone, I will make him a helper fit for him." In this acknowledgement of Adam's solitude, we see the divine purpose of companionship and community. To fulfill this purpose, God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam and took one of his ribs, forming Eve. This account of creation emphasizes the equality and partnership intended in the relationship between man and woman. Eve was not merely an afterthought but an integral part of God's plan, designed to complement Adam and together fulfill their roles in the garden. The Garden of Eden, where Adam and Eve lived, represented paradise, a perfect environment filled with beauty and abundance. Here, they experienced unbroken fellowship with God, enjoying a life free from sin and sorrow. Yet, this idyllic existence also carried the weight of a significant command: they were forbidden to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This command established the principle of free will, allowing Adam and Eve the. As we reflect on this narrative, it's crucial to recognize that the creation of Adam and Eve was not just about their physical existence but also about the establishment of moral and spiritual realities. They were given dominion over the earth, tasked with stewarding creation. This responsibility reflects God's desire for humanity to participate in his creative order, highlighting a profound relationship between the Creator and his creation. However, the potential for choice also opened the door to temptation. The serpent's cunning voice would soon lead to the first act of disobedience, shattering the harmony of Eden. The tension between obedience and temptation set the stage for the struggles that would define human history. The significance of Adam and Eve extends beyond their individual stories; they symbolize humanity's potential for relationship with God and each other. Their creation underscores themes of community, responsibility, and the intrinsic value of every person. The challenges they faced, beginning with their decision to eat the forbidden fruit, resonate throughout the ages, inviting us to reflect on our own choices and relationships. As we transition from the creation of Adam and Eve to the experiences of their sons, Cain and Abel, we see how the purity of this divine plan would soon be tested. The innocence of Eden would give way to the complexities of human emotion, as Cain and Abel's story unfolds in a world forever altered by the choice made by their parents. Growing up in Eden. As Adam and Eve settled into their roles as the first parents, they began to nurture their sons, Cain and Abel, in the lush surroundings of the Garden of Eden. This paradise was not just a home, it was a place of learning, where they experienced the wonders of creation and the presence of God. Cain and Abel's upbringing was steeped in an environment designed to foster a deep relationship with their Creator, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the guidance of their parents. In this sacred space, Cain, the elder brother, developed a sense of responsibility. He became a farmer, cultivating the ground and learning the skills necessary to provide for himself and his family. Abel, on the other hand, took on the role of a shepherd, caring for the sheep and developing a bond with the animals that mirrored the nurturing spirit of their parents. Both boys were exposed to the rhythm of life in Eden, where work was fulfilling and the fruits of their labor were abundant. However, despite the idyllic surroundings, their childhood was not without challenges. The environment, while perfect in many respects, presented trials that tested their character. They learned from Adam and Eve about the importance of obedience to God, especially regarding the command to avoid the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This lesson loomed large over their upbringing, as the consequences of their parents' disobedience served as a constant reminder of the fragile nature of their perfect world. As they matured, Cain and Abel each sought to honor God through their respective offerings. Cain brought produce from the ground, while Abel presented the best of his flock. This act of sacrifice was a significant aspect of their worship, reflecting their understanding of devotion and gratitude. However, the acceptance of Abel's offering over Cain sparked an emotional conflict that would alter the course of their lives. The scripture indicates that God looked favorably upon Abel's sacrifice, but he did not regard Cain's. This disparity ignited a deep-seated jealousy within Cain. Instead of viewing the situation as a prompt to improve his offering, Cain allowed resentment to take root in his heart. The very environment that once nurtured him now became a backdrop for the brewing storm of anger and envy. In this moment, we see the emergence of profound themes: the struggle for acceptance, the impact of comparison, and the fragility of relationships. Cain's failure to address his feelings and seek understanding led him down a dark path. Rather than turning to God for guidance, he succumbed to his emotions, allowing jealousy to cloud his judgment. As Cain wrestled with his inner turmoil, God reached out to him with compassion, warning him that sin was crouching at the door, ready to pounce. This divine intervention was an opportunity for Cain to redirect his path, to confront his feelings and seek redemption. Yet, the weight of his jealousy proved too strong, and instead of heeding God's advice, Cain allowed his anger to fester. The tale of Cain and Abel captures the essence of human experience, the challenges of emotional management and the consequences of our choices. Their story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of allowing negative feelings to take root, showcasing how quickly the seeds of resentment can sprout into actions that lead to devastation. As we move forward in this narrative, we prepare to witness the tragic culmination of Cain's internal struggle, a moment that not only ends Abel's life but also forever alters Cain's existence. The innocence of their upbringing in Eden stands in stark contrast to the violence that will soon unfold, highlighting the profound impact of choice in the human experience. The first act of violence. The tension between Cain and Abel reached a boiling point, fueled by jealousy and resentment. In the quiet fields outside the Garden of Eden, a tragic confrontation was about to unfold. Cain, consumed by his feelings of inadequacy and anger over God's favoring of Abel's sacrifice, allowed his emotions to dictate his actions. The once peaceful relationship between the two brothers would be shattered by the first act of violence in human history. One day, Cain invited Abel to the fields, masking his true intentions behind a facade of brotherly camaraderie. This invitation, laden with deceit, was a tragic turning point. The serene environment of Eden, once a sanctuary for their childhood, became the setting for an unspeakable crime. As they walked together, the weight of Cain's jealousy hung heavy in the air, growing more oppressive with each step. When they were alone, the darkness within Cain erupted. The very brother he had once shared joy and laughter with became the target of his pent-up rage. In an impulsive act of violence, Cain struck Abel down, committing the first murder and plunging the world into a cycle of sin and death. The act itself was horrific, but the emotional and spiritual implications were even more profound. In that moment, the innocence of Eden was lost forever. The consequences of Cain's actions extended far beyond the tragic loss of Abel's life. They shattered the fragile trust between humanity and God. Cain's choice not only led to his brother's death but also marked the beginning of a profound disconnection between mankind and the Creator. The act of violence underscored a critical shift in human history, as the perfect harmony of creation was disrupted by human sin. As the dust settled, God confronted Cain, asking him where Abel was. This divine inquiry was not about gathering information, it was an invitation for Cain to confront the gravity of his actions. Cain's response was evasive, showcasing his attempt to deny responsibility. Am I my brother's keeper? This question, laden with defiance, revealed Cain's unwillingness to accept the consequences of his choices. Instead of expressing remorse, he shifted blame, illustrating the human tendency to evade accountability in the face of wrongdoing. God, in his justice, pronounced a severe judgment on Cain. The consequences of his actions were swift and uncompromising. Cain was cursed to become a wanderer on the earth, forever estranged from the land he had tilled and the community he had known. This punishment not only served as a consequence for his crime but also as a protective measure against further violence. God marked Cain to ensure that he would not be killed by others, indicating a recognition of the inherent value of life, even in the wake of his transgressions. The narrative raises profound questions about justice, mercy, and the nature of sin. Cain's plight illustrates the struggle between guilt and the desire for redemption. His fear of being killed by others suggests the existence of a burgeoning society beyond his immediate family, hinting at the complexities of human existence even in the early chapters of creation. In this dark moment, we see the ripple effects of sin manifesting not only in individual lives but across humanity as a whole. Cain's story serves as a sobering reminder of the power of choice and the responsibility we bear for our actions. As we transition from this heart-wrenching event, we prepare to explore the aftermath of Cain's actions, including the mark of protection he received from God and the questions it raises about humanity's expansion and the future of the descendants of Adam and Eve. The mark of Cain. In the wake of Abel's tragic death, Cain was left to grapple with the reality of his actions and the consequences that followed. As God pronounced judgment upon him, Cain's fear and despair became palpable. He understood that he would no longer find solace in the familiar fields of Eden. Instead, he would become a wanderer, disconnected from his home and family. This new existence marked a significant shift not just for Cain, but for the entire human experience. God's curse forced Cain to leave the agricultural life he knew, thrusting him into a world of uncertainty. The once fertile ground, which had yielded abundant crops under his care, would no longer respond to his efforts. Instead, he was condemned to a life of wandering, a fate that would isolate him from the support of his family and the comfort of familiarity. This punishment was not only a consequence of his actions but also a reflection of the broader impact of sin on human relationships and community. Yet, amidst this darkness, God extended a measure of mercy towards Cain. In a striking act of compassion, he placed a protective mark upon him, ensuring that no one would harm him. This mark served as a poignant reminder of God's justice and mercy, illustrating the complexity of divine grace even in the face of human failure. The mark symbolized not only Cain's guilt but also God's unwillingness to allow further bloodshed in the wake of his sin. The existence of this mark raises important questions about the nature of humanity in the aftermath of Abel's murder. If Cain was marked to prevent his death, it implied the presence of other humans in the world, people who could have sought vengeance for Abel's death. This realization hints at a growing society, with families and communities beginning to form beyond the immediate family of Adam and Eve. Such a development suggests that humanity was expanding rapidly, despite the darkness introduced by sin. As Cain began his life as a wanderer, he encountered a world that was both familiar and foreign. The landscape around him, once filled with the lush beauty of the garden, now felt stark and barren. The solitude of his punishment weighed heavily on him, forcing him to confront the reality of his actions and the loss of his brother. Cain's journey symbolizes the struggle many face when dealing with guilt and remorse, as he sought to navigate a life filled with the consequences of his choices. This chapter in Cain's life emphasizes the importance of community and connection, highlighting how isolation can amplify feelings of despair and regret. As he wandered, Cain likely longed for the companionship he had lost, realizing that his choice to harm Abel not only extinguished his brother's life but also severed their bond forever. The emotional toll of his actions would haunt him as he faced the consequences alone. The narrative serves as a reminder that the choices we make carry weight beyond our immediate circumstances. Cain's story exemplifies the reality that sin impacts not only the sinner but also those around them, reverberating through the fabric of humanity. As we prepare to delve deeper into the implications of Cain's new life and the unfolding story of humanity, we recognize that the mark he bore would forever symbolize the complex interplay between justice, mercy, and the human condition. The legacy of a wanderer. As Cain embraced his new reality as a wanderer, the landscape of his existence shifted dramatically. He left the familiarity of his home, stepping into the unknown, marked by his transgressions. This journey was not just a physical one, it represented a profound emotional and spiritual struggle. The weight of his actions bore down on him, coloring every encounter and interaction he would have in this new life. Cain's life as a fugitive also raises critical questions about the nature of community and belonging. Stripped of his identity as a brother and a farmer, he found himself on the fringes of a society that was beginning to take shape. Although he carried the protective mark bestowed by God, which prevented others from taking his life, it also served as a constant reminder of his crime. The mark was a symbol of his guilt, a visible testament to the darkness that had entered the world through his actions. As Cain traveled, he likely encountered other individuals and families, which suggests a burgeoning population. The existence of other people, beyond just Adam, Eve, Abel, and Cain, hints at a complex social structure that was evolving in the wake of humanity's earliest beginnings. This reality introduces an essential aspect of the narrative: how Cain's legacy would intertwine with the lives of others, shaping the course of human history. In time, Cain settled in the land of Nod, east of Eden. This place, while offering him a semblance of refuge, could never erase the memories of his past. The name Nod itself, which means wandering, serves as a poignant reminder of his fate. Here, Cain sought to build a new life, perhaps attempting to reconcile with his identity as a brother, even in the absence of Abel. Cain's journey into Nod also marked the beginning of a new chapter in human development. He became a builder of cities, founding a settlement that would later bear his name, Enoch. This act of creation, while stemming from a desire for redemption and stability, reflects the human capacity to innovate and adapt, even in the wake of profound loss and tragedy. By establishing a city, Cain sought to forge connections with others, perhaps hoping to replace the bond he had shattered with Abel. However, the irony of Cain's legacy cannot be overlooked. He became a symbol of both innovation and transgression. The city he built would serve as a backdrop for the continuation of human existence, but it also carried the weight of his actions. This duality in Cain's story highlights the complexity of human nature. We are capable of great achievements even while grappling with the shadows of our past. As the descendants of Cain began to populate the land, their lives would be marked by the dichotomy of progress and moral failure. Cain's story underscores the reality that the effects of our choices extend beyond our immediate circumstances, weaving themselves into the tapestry of history. The family line that emerged from Cain would be characterized by both advancements, such as the development of agriculture, music, and metalwork, and ongoing struggles with sin and moral ambiguity. In contemplating Cain's journey, we are invited to reflect on the themes of redemption, forgiveness, and the human condition. How do we reconcile our past mistakes with our aspirations for a better future? Cain's legacy, steeped in complexity, challenges us to consider the importance of community, accountability, and the pursuit of grace. As we move forward in our exploration of this early human narrative, we will delve into the evolution of humanity in the generations following Cain, examining how the shadows of sin continue to shape the lives of those who came after him. The rise of Cain's descendants. As time passed in the land of Nod, Cain's lineage began to take shape, marking the evolution of humanity in ways that intertwined both innovation and moral complexity. Cain's descendants, each bearing the weight of their ancestors' actions, contributed significantly to the development of society. They were a testament to the duality of human nature, capable of both creativity and destruction. Cain's firstborn son, Enoch, not only continued his father's legacy but also expanded upon it. The city he founded, also named Enoch, became a hub of activity and innovation. It was here that the foundations of civilization began to take root, showcasing the human spirit's resilience. As the city flourished, it became a melting pot of ideas, skills, and cultures, reflecting humanity's innate desire to connect and create. Among the notable descendants of Cain was Lamech, a figure whose life further exemplified the complexities of Cain's legacy. Lamech's story is marked by a notorious incident that would echo throughout history, encapsulating the themes of pride and violence that began with Cain. In a chilling declaration, he boasted about killing a man for wounding him, further perpetuating the cycle of vengeance and retribution that began with Abel's murder. This act of aggression not only highlighted the depth of moral decay within Cain's lineage but also raised questions about justice, accountability, and the impact of generational sin. The contrast between Cain's initial act of violence and Lamech's boastful declaration illustrates how the seed of sin planted in the Garden of Eden had grown into a tangled vine, ensnaring the very fabric of human relationships. As Cain's descendants proliferated, their lives became a reflection of the societal tensions and moral dilemmas that echoed through generations. This reality serves as a reminder that the consequences of our actions can reverberate long after the initial transgressions, shaping the lives of those who come after us. Despite the dark shadows cast by Lamech's legacy, the descendants of Cain also made significant contributions to humanity. The Bible mentions various advancements during this period, including the development of music and metalworking, showcasing the incredible creativity inherent in the human spirit. Jubal, another of Cain's descendants, is credited with being the father of those who play the lyre and pipe, while Tubal-Cain is recognized as a skilled forger of bronze and iron. These innovations reflect humanity's innate desire to create, adapt, and improve, even amidst the backdrop of sin and its consequences. As the descendants of Cain continue to flourish, the narrative urges us to reflect on the complexities of human existence. It is easy to see how the actions of one individual can shape the course of many lives. Cain's lineage embodies the idea that our choices influence not only our paths but also the paths of those around us, creating a web of interconnectedness that spans generations. This realization compels us to consider the importance of ethical living and the impact our choices have on the broader community. The story of Cain's descendants is a poignant reminder that, even in the face of adversity and moral failing, humanity is capable of extraordinary accomplishments. The legacy of creation, artistry, and innovation coexists with the shadows of violence and sin, painting a multifaceted picture of what it means to be human. As we explore the trajectory of humanity beyond Cain's lineage, we will examine how these themes of creation and destruction continue to play out in the unfolding narrative of the world. As we delve deeper into the story of Cain and his descendants, we are compelled to reflect on the broader implications of their narrative for all of humanity. The complexities of Cain's life, a life marked by transgression, struggle, and eventual innovation, serve as a microcosm for the human experience. His story is a reminder that every individual carries the potential for both greatness and failure, a duality that is woven into the very fabric of existence. Cain's journey from the Garden of Eden to the land of Nod illustrates a fundamental truth: the consequences of our actions extend far beyond ourselves. In the aftermath of Abel's murder, Cain became a symbol of the destructive power of jealousy and anger, emotions that can lead to irreversible decisions. This narrative resonates with anyone who has faced the challenges of human relationships and the often tumultuous emotions that accompany them. Moreover, the advancements made by Cain's descendants, music, metalworking, and the founding of cities, emphasize that human creativity and innovation can flourish even in the midst of moral decay. This paradox serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, capable of forging beauty and progress despite a backdrop of sin. The descendants of Cain remind us that, while sin can lead to destruction, it does not extinguish the inherent potential for growth and creation within each person. As we examine the legacy of Cain's family, we also encounter the theme of societal evolution. The city founded by Enoch became a cornerstone for communal living, representing humanity's collective effort to build a structured society. This evolution prompts us to consider the importance of community in shaping our identities and experiences. In a world often marred by individualism, the story of Cain reminds us of our interconnectedness and the responsibilities we hold toward one another. In contemplating the narrative of Cain and his descendants, we must also acknowledge the persistent presence of sin and its impact on society. Lamech's violent declaration is a chilling reminder that the cycle of vengeance can perpetuate through generations if left unchecked. This reality urges us to reflect on our own lives and the choices we make. How do we respond to anger, jealousy, and hurt? Are we perpetuating cycles of pain, or are we seeking paths of healing and reconciliation? Ultimately, the story of Cain invites us to grapple with our own humanity. It encourages us to confront our flaws, recognize the consequences of our actions, and seek redemption and forgiveness. The complexities of Cain's life serve as a mirror, reflecting the struggles we face in our own journeys. Just as Cain navigated the challenges of existence, we too must navigate the delicate balance between creation and destruction, connection and isolation. As we move forward in our exploration of humanity's narrative, we will delve into the evolution of human relationships and how the lessons learned from Cain's story can guide us toward a more compassionate and understanding existence. The journey of humanity is one of growth, reflection, and the continuous pursuit of a better tomorrow, even when faced with the shadows of our past. The search for redemption. In the wake of Cain's transgressions and the subsequent evolution of his lineage, the theme of redemption emerges as a powerful force within the broader narrative of humanity. Cain's life serves as a poignant reminder that even in the darkest moments, the possibility for transformation and renewal exists. This search for redemption is not merely an individual journey, it is a collective pursuit that resonates throughout generations. Cain's initial response to God's punishment reveals the depths of his despair. Marked as a wanderer, he lamented that his punishment was too great to bear, fearing that he would be killed by others. This fear highlights the profound isolation that often accompanies guilt and shame. Yet, even amid his anguish, God extended a form of mercy by providing Cain with a protective mark, symbolizing that he was still valued and had the potential for change. This divine intervention emphasizes a crucial truth: redemption is always within reach, regardless of the depth of one's failures. As we reflect on the narratives that follow Cain's story, we see the recurring theme of restoration woven throughout the fabric of Scripture. From the early days of humanity, God has consistently sought to guide his creation back to a path of righteousness. The story of Cain is not isolated, it is part of a larger tapestry that illustrates humanity's continual need for grace and forgiveness. The pursuit of redemption is also evident in the lives of Cain's descendants. While Lamech's violent legacy casts a long shadow, it is essential to recognize that the same lineage contributed to significant advancements that enriched human society. This duality reflects a fundamental aspect of the human experience: the capacity for both good and evil exists within each person, and it is through the choices we make that we carve our paths forward. In seeking redemption, the importance of community emerges as a vital theme. As humanity began to gather in cities and form societies, the opportunities for connection and support grew. These communal bonds are essential for healing and transformation. The stories of individuals working together toward common goals serve as a reminder that, while personal redemption is crucial, it often flourishes within the context of supportive relationships. Moreover, the narratives of Cain and his descendants invite us to confront the idea of forgiveness, not only seeking it for ourselves but also extending it to others. Just as God demonstrated mercy toward Cain, we are called to practice forgiveness in our own lives. This process is not easy. It requires humility, empathy, and a willingness to let go of past grievances. Yet, it is through forgiveness that we can break the cycles of pain and violence that have plagued humanity since the beginning. As we consider the implications of Cain's story, we are urged to embrace the journey toward redemption in our own lives. Each day presents an opportunity for growth, change, and connection. We are reminded that, while our past actions may shape us, they do not define us. The power of redemption lies in our ability to recognize our faults, seek forgiveness, and strive for a better tomorrow. In the chapters that follow, we will delve deeper into the ways redemption plays out in various narratives of the Bible and how these stories can inspire us in our personal journeys. By exploring the interconnectedness of humanity's quest for renewal, we can gain insight into our own struggles and triumphs, ultimately leading us toward a more compassionate and understanding existence. The power of community and connection. In the intricate web of human relationships, the story of Cain and his descendants underscores the significance of community and connection. After his exile, Cain ventured into the land of Nod, where he established a city and began a family. This act of building a community highlights the innate human desire for companionship and belonging, even in the face of personal failure and societal rejection. It serves as a reminder that we are inherently social beings, seeking connection with others as a fundamental aspect of our existence. As Cain settled in Nod, the formation of a city symbolizes the emergence of collective identity. It represents a turning point where individuals come together to share resources, support one another, and work toward common goals. This gathering is not merely a practical necessity, it is a profound reflection of the human experience. Throughout history, communities have provided a sense of safety, stability, and purpose, allowing individuals to thrive despite their challenges. Moreover, the creation of community becomes a powerful backdrop for healing and transformation. In Cain's lineage, we see the potential for individuals to rise above their circumstances, to harness their gifts, and to contribute positively to society. The advancements made by Cain's descendants, such as music, agriculture, and craftsmanship, illustrate how creativity and innovation often flourish in supportive environments. When individuals feel valued and connected to others, they are more likely to tap into their potential and make meaningful contributions. The dynamics of community also raise important questions about accountability and support. Cain's initial act of violence set in motion a series of events that echoed through his descendants. This prompts us to consider the responsibility we hold toward one another. Are we fostering an environment where empathy and understanding thrive, or are we perpetuating cycles of judgment and isolation? As members of a community, it is our duty to support one another in times of struggle and to hold each other accountable for our actions. The narratives surrounding Cain and his family reveal that while individuals may grapple with personal demons, they are often influenced by the dynamics of their communities. The culture we cultivate within our circles, whether familial, social, or communal, plays a significant role in shaping our behaviors and beliefs. By fostering a culture of forgiveness, understanding, and compassion, we can create spaces where individuals are encouraged to pursue redemption and growth. Furthermore, the importance of diverse relationships within communities cannot be overlooked. Just as Cain's family grew and diversified, bringing together various skills and perspectives, we too can benefit from embracing differences. These varied viewpoints enrich our experiences and challenge us to grow. In learning from one another, we build resilience and expand our understanding of the world. As we explore the themes of community and connection, it is essential to acknowledge the potential for transformation inherent in every individual. The story of Cain and his descendants serves as a reminder that, despite the weight of our past, we have the ability to choose a different path. By engaging with our communities, supporting one another, and fostering relationships built on trust and understanding, we can contribute to a brighter future. In the upcoming chapters, we will further investigate how the principles of community and connection manifest in various biblical narratives, providing insight into the ways these themes resonate with our own lives. Together, we can discover how the power of relationships can inspire us to embrace our shared humanity, fostering a sense of belonging and purpose in an often fragmented world. The transformative power of forgiveness. At the heart of Cain's story and its implications for community lies the profound theme of forgiveness. The act of forgiveness is not merely a personal endeavor, it reverberates through our relationships and communities, shaping the very fabric of human interaction. As we navigate the complexities of life, the ability to forgive becomes a vital tool for healing and growth, both individually and collectively. Forgiveness, in the context of Cain's narrative, raises significant questions about accountability in grace. After committing the first murder, Cain faced the consequences of his actions in the form of divine punishment. However, God's response to Cain was not solely punitive, it was also an invitation to transformation. By marking Cain to protect him from further harm, God demonstrated a willingness to offer grace even in the midst of grave wrongdoing. This act serves as a powerful reminder that forgiveness does not absolve one of responsibility but rather provides a path for redemption. In our lives, we often find ourselves confronted with the challenge of forgiving those who have wronged us. This process can be daunting, especially when the wounds run deep. Yet, it is essential to understand that forgiveness is less about the offender and more about our own healing. Holding on to anger and resentment can weigh us down, preventing us from fully engaging with life and with others. When we choose to forgive. Moreover, forgiveness fosters connection within our communities. When we extend grace to one another, we create an environment that encourages open dialogue, vulnerability, and mutual support. These qualities are essential for building strong relationships. In a culture that often emphasizes retribution, choosing forgiveness can be revolutionary. It shifts the focus from punishment to understanding, paving the way for empathy and compassion. Cain's legacy invites us to consider the broader implications of forgiveness on societal levels. Communities that embrace forgiveness tend to experience greater resilience and cohesion. When individuals feel safe to express their mistakes and seek reconciliation, it cultivates an atmosphere of trust. This trust, in turn, empowers people to work together toward common goals, enhancing collaboration and innovation. Additionally, the act of forgiveness can have a ripple effect, inspiring others to follow suit. As we witness acts of forgiveness within our communities, we are encouraged to reflect on our own relationships and the grudges we may be holding. This collective shift towards forgiveness can lead to transformative change, breaking down barriers that divide us and fostering unity in diversity. In the biblical narrative, forgiveness is often depicted as a divine quality, reflecting God's nature and His desire for humanity to embody that same spirit. As we explore this theme further, we will examine how forgiveness manifests in various stories throughout the Scriptures, offering insights into its transformative power. By embracing forgiveness, we can unlock a deeper sense of connection to ourselves, to each other, and to the divine. In the next chapters, we will delve into specific biblical examples of forgiveness, highlighting how these stories illuminate the profound impact of grace and mercy in our lives. Together, we will discover the pathways to healing that forgiveness opens, inspiring us to create communities rooted in love, understanding, and compassion. Biblical examples of forgiveness. Throughout the Bible, we encounter powerful stories that illustrate the theme of forgiveness, each offering unique insights into its significance and impact on individuals and communities. These narratives reveal how forgiveness serves as a cornerstone for healing, restoration, and reconciliation, reminding us of its essential role in the human experience. One of the most compelling stories of forgiveness is that of Joseph and his brothers. After being sold into slavery by his own siblings, Joseph endured years of hardship before rising to a position of power in Egypt. When famine struck, his brothers came seeking help, unaware that the very brother they had betrayed was now their savior. Instead of seeking revenge, Joseph chose to forgive them, stating, "What you intended for evil, God intended for good," Genesis 50 verse 20. This act of forgiveness not only restored their relationship but also transformed the trajectory of their family, showcasing how reconciliation can lead to healing and unity. Another poignant example is found in the parable of the prodigal son, Luke 15 verses 11 to 32. This story illustrates the father's unconditional love and willingness to forgive his wayward son. Despite the son's reckless behavior and squandering of his inheritance, the father welcomed him back with open arms, celebrating his return. This parable serves as a powerful reminder of the transformative nature of forgiveness, demonstrating that no matter how far one strays, there is always an opportunity for reconciliation. The father's actions illustrate the joy that comes from forgiveness, not only for the forgiven but also for the forgiver, as it fosters deeper connections and mends broken relationships. Additionally, the life of Jesus serves as the ultimate model of forgiveness. His teachings emphasize the importance of forgiving others, even in the face of great injustice. While on the cross, he exemplified this principle by praying for those who crucified him, saying, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing," Luke 23 verse 34. This profound act of mercy highlights the radical nature of forgiveness, inviting us to extend grace even when it feels undeserved. Jesus' example challenges us to consider how we respond to those who hurt us and to reflect on the transformative power that forgiveness holds in our lives. Furthermore, the story of King David and his encounter with Bathsheba reveals the complexity of forgiveness. After committing adultery and orchestrating the death of her husband, David faced the consequences of his actions. Yet, when confronted by the prophet Nathan, he recognized his sin and sought God's forgiveness. David's heartfelt repentance and subsequent restoration illustrate that forgiveness is not just about receiving grace but also about acknowledging wrongdoing and embracing change. His story underscores the importance of humility and the willingness to make amends, highlighting that true forgiveness involves a commitment to personal growth. These biblical examples illustrate that forgiveness is not a one-time event but a process that can lead to profound transformation. Each story invites us to consider the ways in which we can embody forgiveness in our own lives, fostering healing and reconciliation within our relationships and communities. The act of forgiving is deeply intertwined with our humanity, reminding us that we all fall short and are in need of grace. As we reflect on these narratives, it becomes evident that forgiveness has the power to break cycles of resentment and bitterness, paving the way for renewed connections and a shared sense of purpose. In the chapters that follow, we will explore practical steps for cultivating a spirit of forgiveness within our communities, empowering us to embrace this transformative gift in our daily lives. Together, we will learn how to embody the principles of forgiveness, ultimately fostering a culture of compassion and understanding. Cultivating a spirit of forgiveness. Building a culture of forgiveness within our communities requires intentional effort and practice. It begins with recognizing the importance of forgiveness in our own lives and understanding how it can positively impact our relationships. By cultivating a spirit of forgiveness, we create an environment that fosters healing, connection, and resilience. Here are some practical steps to help guide this transformative process. Foster open communication. Encouraging open and honest dialogue is essential in creating a forgiving atmosphere. When individuals feel safe to express their thoughts and feelings, it lays the groundwork for understanding and empathy. Creating spaces for discussions about forgiveness can help individuals share their experiences and encourage vulnerability. Workshops, community meetings, or even casual gatherings can serve as platforms for dialogue, enabling members to articulate their struggles and triumphs related to forgiveness. Model forgiveness. Leadership plays a crucial role in cultivating a spirit of forgiveness. Whether in families, workplaces, or community organizations, leaders who model forgiveness inspire others to do the same. By openly discussing their own challenges with forgiveness and demonstrating grace in their interactions, leaders can set an example that encourages a collective embrace of this value. Sharing stories of personal forgiveness can resonate deeply and motivate others to reflect on their own relationships. Practice empathy. Empathy is the foundation of forgiveness. By seeking to understand the perspectives and experiences of others, we can soften our hearts and let go of grudges. Encourage community members to practice empathy by engaging in active listening, asking questions, and showing genuine interest in others' feelings. When we take the time to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, it becomes easier to extend forgiveness and compassion, even in difficult situations. Create rituals of forgiveness. Rituals can serve as powerful tools for reinforcing the practice of forgiveness within communities. Consider establishing regular events or ceremonies focused on forgiveness, where individuals can come together to share their stories, express remorse, and offer forgiveness. These gatherings can create a shared sense of purpose and foster a culture of accountability and healing. Simple rituals, such as writing letters of forgiveness or lighting candles to symbolize letting go of past grievances, can also have profound effects on personal and communal healing. Encourage reflection. Encouraging individuals to reflect on their experiences with forgiveness can lead to deeper understanding and growth. Journaling, group discussions, or guided meditations can provide opportunities for individuals to explore their feelings around forgiveness, allowing them to confront their own grudges and find paths toward reconciliation. Reflection can be a powerful catalyst for personal change, enabling individuals to recognize the burdens they carry and the freedom that forgiveness can bring. Emphasize the benefits of forgiveness. Highlighting the benefits of forgiveness can motivate individuals to embrace this practice. Research has shown that forgiveness is linked to improved mental health, reduced stress, and enhanced well-being. Sharing stories and studies that illustrate these benefits can inspire community members to prioritize forgiveness in their lives. Additionally, discussing how forgiveness can strengthen relationships and foster a sense of belonging can create a compelling case for embracing this transformative practice. Provide support. Recognizing that forgiveness can be challenging, it is essential to provide support for those struggling with this process. Establishing support groups or mentoring programs can offer individuals a safe space to share their experiences and receive guidance. Whether through professional counseling or peer-led groups, support systems can provide the encouragement and tools needed to navigate the complexities of forgiveness. By implementing these practical steps, we can work toward cultivating a spirit of forgiveness within our communities. The transformative power of forgiveness has the potential to heal wounds, strengthen relationships, and foster a sense of unity. As we embark on this journey, let us remember that forgiveness is a gift we give to ourselves and others, paving the way for a brighter and more compassionate future. In the following chapters, we will explore the challenges to forgiveness and how we can overcome them, ensuring that our communities thrive in grace and understanding. Together, we will delve into the obstacles that hinder forgiveness and discuss strategies to navigate these challenges with resilience and hope. Overcoming challenges to forgiveness. While forgiveness is a powerful and transformative practice, it often comes with its share of challenges. Many people grapple with deep-seated feelings of hurt, anger, and betrayal that can make the process of forgiving seem insurmountable. Recognizing these challenges is the first step toward overcoming them, allowing individuals to move forward in their journey toward healing and reconciliation. Here are some common obstacles to forgiveness and strategies to navigate them effectively. Deep emotional pain. One of the most significant barriers to forgiveness is the deep emotional pain caused by betrayal or harm. When individuals feel wounded, their instinct may be to hold on to anger as a means of self-protection. Acknowledge that it's natural to feel hurt and that these emotions need time and space to heal. Journaling about feelings, seeking therapy, or talking with trusted friends can provide valuable outlets for processing this pain. By allowing ourselves to grieve the hurt, we can gradually create room for forgiveness to take root. Fear of vulnerability. Forgiveness often requires a level of vulnerability that can be intimidating. People may fear that forgiving someone will make them appear weak or that it will lead to further hurt. It's important to understand that forgiveness does not mean condoning the behavior or allowing oneself to be harmed again. Reframing forgiveness as a personal choice aimed at reclaiming peace and emotional well-being can help alleviate fears of vulnerability. Remember, true forgiveness empowers us to set healthy boundaries while fostering healing. The desire for justice. A strong desire for justice can also hinder forgiveness. When someone has wronged us, the urge to see them punished can feel overwhelming. However, holding on to this desire can lead to prolonged bitterness and resentment. It can be helpful to remind ourselves that forgiveness does not negate justice. Rather, it allows us to release our burdens and regain control over our emotional state. Focusing on our own healing and well-being can shift our perspective, enabling us to let go of the need for retribution. Misunderstanding forgiveness. Many people have misconceptions about what forgiveness entails. Some believe that forgiving means forgetting the offense, while others think it requires reconciliation with the offender. Educating ourselves about the true nature of forgiveness can help dismantle these myths. Forgiveness is about freeing ourselves from the hold of resentment, not about erasing the past. Understanding that forgiveness can be a personal process that does not necessarily involve the other party can make it more accessible. The impact of trauma. For those who have experienced significant trauma, the road to forgiveness can be particularly challenging. Trauma can leave lasting emotional scars that complicate the process of letting go. It's crucial to approach forgiveness with sensitivity and to recognize that healing from trauma often requires professional support. Engaging with mental health professionals, support groups, or trauma-informed practices can provide the necessary tools and understanding to navigate this complex terrain. Lack of support. Forgiveness can be a lonely journey, especially if others around us do not understand or support our desire to forgive. Building a supportive community is essential. Seek out friends, family, or support groups who share your values regarding forgiveness and healing. Engaging with individuals who have experienced similar challenges can create a sense of camaraderie and encouragement, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles. Ingrained habits of resentment. Over time, holding on to grudges can become a habitual response to conflict. Breaking these ingrained patterns requires conscious effort. Practicing gratitude and mindfulness can help shift our focus away from negativity and toward healing. Incorporating daily affirmations or engaging in activities that promote self-care can also reinforce a positive mindset, making it easier to let go of resentment and embrace forgiveness. By acknowledging and addressing these challenges, we can empower ourselves to move forward on the path to forgiveness. Each step taken toward healing not only benefits us as individuals but also contributes to the overall well-being of our communities. The journey of forgiveness may not be easy, but it is a journey worth undertaking. As we continue, we will explore the profound impact that forgiveness can have on both personal and communal levels, highlighting its role in creating a culture of compassion and understanding. Let us delve deeper into how embracing forgiveness can transform our lives and the lives of those around us. The transformative power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not merely a personal endeavor, it carries profound implications for our communities and society as a whole. When individuals embrace forgiveness, they not only free themselves from the chains of resentment but also contribute to a culture of healing and understanding. The ripple effects of forgiveness extend beyond personal relationships, fostering a sense of connection and empathy that strengthens the fabric of our communities. Let's explore the transformative power of forgiveness and its far-reaching impact. Personal liberation. The journey of forgiveness begins with personal liberation. When we forgive, we release ourselves from the emotional burdens that weigh us down. The act of letting go allows us to reclaim our joy, peace, and sense of self. Forgiveness enables us to move forward, unencumbered by the weight of past grievances. This liberation is not just a theoretical concept. Many individuals report feeling lighter, more at peace, and more open to life after they have forgiven. The process fosters resilience, helping us navigate future challenges with greater ease. Strengthened relationships. Forgiveness plays a vital role in healing and strengthening relationships. When we choose to forgive, we open the door to deeper connections with others. It fosters trust and understanding, allowing individuals to engage more authentically. By addressing conflicts through the lens of forgiveness, we create an environment where open communication can thrive. Relationships flourish when both parties are willing to acknowledge their imperfections and work together toward reconciliation. The courage to forgive often inspires others to do the same, creating a positive feedback loop of healing within relationship. Enhanced emotional well-being. Research consistently shows that forgiveness is linked to improved mental health outcomes. Individuals who practice forgiveness report lower levels of anxiety, depression, and stress. The emotional relief that comes with letting go of grudges can lead to enhanced overall well-being. By prioritizing forgiveness, we empower ourselves to cultivate a more positive emotional landscape. The emotional benefits of forgiveness not only improve our quality of life but also enable us to contribute positively to the lives of those around us. Community cohesion. When forgiveness becomes a community value, it fosters cohesion and connection among members. Communities that prioritize forgiveness create an atmosphere of support and understanding. This culture encourages individuals to work through their differences and conflicts constructively, rather than allowing resentment to fester. As members of a community learn to forgive one another, they build a sense of belonging that enhances social ties and promotes collaboration. The result is a more harmonious community where individuals feel valued and understood. Conflict resolution. Forgiveness serves as a powerful tool for conflict resolution. When disagreements arise, the willingness to forgive can pave the way for constructive dialogue and understanding. By prioritizing forgiveness in conflict resolution efforts, communities can address issues more effectively and collaboratively. This approach allows individuals to move past their grievances and find common ground, fostering a spirit of cooperation. In turn, this contributes to a culture where conflicts are seen as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. Encouragement of empathy. Forgiveness nurtures empathy, a fundamental component of healthy relationships and communities. When individuals practice forgiveness, they often develop a greater capacity for understanding the perspectives of others. This shift in mindset encourages compassion and kindness, allowing communities to become more inclusive and supportive. Empathy serves as a bridge that connects individuals, fostering a sense of shared humanity. By embracing forgiveness, we can create communities where empathy flourishes, leading to stronger social bonds. A legacy of healing. The transformative power of forgiveness extends beyond the present moment. It creates a legacy of healing for future generations. By modeling forgiveness within families and communities, we pass down the values of compassion and understanding to our children and grandchildren. This legacy shapes how future generations approach conflicts and relationships, fostering a culture where forgiveness is celebrated and practiced. As we invest in forgiveness today, we contribute to a brighter, more harmonious future for those who come after us. In embracing forgiveness, we unlock its transformative power, both for ourselves and our communities. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. As we continue this exploration, we will delve into the role of forgiveness in fostering resilience, highlighting its capacity to empower individuals and communities to overcome adversity together. Together, we can embrace the gift of forgiveness and create a more compassionate world. Forgiveness holds incredible power to transform our lives and communities. Imagine how liberating it would feel to let go of the grudges that weigh you down. What if you reached out to someone you need to forgive or sought forgiveness from those you've wronged? Taking these steps can inspire healing not just for yourself but for others as well, fostering a culture of compassion and understanding. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to continue exploring the power of forgiveness and personal growth. Join our community and start your journey toward a more compassionate life today.